Hi everybody, welcome to The Big Story. This is where we're looking at those amazing stories in the Bible. Sometimes me and some friends from local churches go into schools and we do questions and answer sessions. The children come up with the questions and me and my friends have got to come up with the answers. Sometimes we're asked questions like, does God really love and forgive everybody? And can mean people, can they really change? Well, today we're going to look at a story that helps answer both those sorts of questions.
Jesus and his disciples were on a journey to the main city of Jerusalem, but before they could get there, they had to pass through the city of Jericho. And there lived a man called Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus was a tax collector, and that was a problem. You see, the Romans had come and they'd taken over the country and then put their soldiers in charge. And then they made everybody pay this money, tax, to pay for the soldiers. Everybody hated paying this tax. What's more, some of the people in Israel now became tax collectors. They were working for the Romans. Everybody hated them because they thought they were traitors. They were going against everybody else. What's more, these tax collectors were bullies. They forced people to make the money and then they stole for them. If someone owed money to the Romans, they would make them pay it and then they'd make them pay even more. But this money wasn't for the Romans. They kept this for themselves. They became very, very rich. And if anybody complained to the Romans, they'd get in trouble. The Romans didn't care. As long as they got their money, everything was fine. Zacchaeus was a tax collector and he was a chief tax collector. That means he became very, very rich. Everybody in Jericho hated him.
When Jesus came down the road into town, a huge crowd of people went out to see him, including Zacchaeus. But because he was so short, he couldn't see over the crowd. Maybe he tried to push his way through, but when people realized it was Zacchaeus the tax collector, you can imagine them just pushing him at the back. Well, he was determined to see Jesus, and the thing is, he needed to get up higher so he could see him. And then up the road, he spotted what he needed. There was a sycamore tree. Now, Zacchaeus climbed into a sycamore fig tree, and it just happens that our neighbour has got a nice big fig tree, and you can see the black figs. And by the end of the summer, they'll be ripened and they'll be ready to eat. Now, Zacchaeus didn't climb into one of these sorts of fig trees. It was a sycamore fig tree, which is much bigger, got big branches, but it still does produce the nice, juicy figs. And birds just love to eat figs. Now remember, sycamore trees had nice big branches. They grow these juicy figs. It's ideal for birds. They love to make their nests in sycamore trees because they've got these big branches and they've got fruit to eat. But birds nest eating fruit, that means that the tree will end up really disgustingly filthy. But Zacchaeus, even though he was a rich man and he's wearing his fine robes, he didn't care. He wanted to see Jesus, and he climbs up into that tree so that he can get up high and see over the crowd. Now Jesus comes down the road and he gets to the sycamore tree, and as soon as he gets there he can see Zacchaeus up on the branch, and he looks up and says, "Zacchaeus, what are you doing up in that tree? Come down, I'm coming to your house for tea." Now, people's houses were different in those days. Because it was so hot, part of the house could be open and people could see into the inside. And when the crowd could see that of all the people Jesus had decided to go to Zacchaeus' house, they were not pleased. "What's he doing with that tax collector? Why hasn't he come to our house? We're nice people."
Meanwhile, Jesus is inside the house with Zacchaeus. We don't know exactly what he said, but Zacchaeus obviously was listening to him. And now he was really sorry for all the mean things he had done, the bullying, the cheating, the stealing. And to show that he was now really sorry and he's changed, he said to Jesus, "Jesus, I'm going to give away half of everything I have and give it to the poor. And if I have stolen anything from anybody, I'm going to pay back that money once, twice, 3, 4 times the amount that I've stolen off them." Now, of course, Jesus was really pleased about this. And in a loud voice for Zacchaeus and for the people outside, he said, "Today salvation has come. My love, my forgiveness has come to this house." Well, you can't get much meaner and greedier than someone like Zacchaeus. But out of all the people, Jesus wanted to show him his love and his forgiveness. And when Zacchaeus was giving away his money, he wasn't just showing off, he was really showing Jesus and the crowd that he was sorry and he had changed. I find that really good, because it tells me that God loves me too, and he will forgive me for the things that I do wrong. And it also means that I can ask him to help me to change as well. I'm going to finish today by saying a prayer. Dear Lord, again, I thank you for this story. I thank you that it tells me that you love each and every single person. Everyone is special to you. No one is beyond your love and your forgiveness. I thank you that you love me. I thank you that you forgive me for the wrong things that I do. And I thank you that I too can ask you to help me to change. And if that's a prayer that you want to say, you can say Amen, which is another way of saying, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I agree with. Well, thank you for being with me this week. I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.